friends, what's happening? This is Andy coming to you again from my Daily Funk Club headquarters here. And this week I'm going to feature the Phil Jones bass rig in all my videos. And I hadn't done any videos with it in a while because I've been going around the rotation. But it's time to feature this great little, powerful little and super clean sounding amplifier again. The Phil Jones stuff has been on the rise in terms of popularity. I think that a lot of the kind of, jazz players, blues players, people that don't need to get super, super loud, on their gigs, but like clear, high fidelity kind of a sound, love these amplifiers because they're small, portable, and powerful, okay? This particular rig has two components. The top is called the Super Flightcase. It has 6 drivers in it, 6 5-inch drivers in it. And if you notice, these grills come right off. You see that it has this array of little drivers in it, and they're super, super tight and put out an incredible amount of low end and really nice, kind of a full range hi-fi kind of a sound. There's also 2 drivers in the top that are shooting straight up, which is really cool because when you're standing right up next to it and you're on the gig, it's coming up behind you and hitting the bottom of your ear hole and going right in there, and that's really nice. And then that one has 250 watts built into it. It's a combo, And then the bottom cabinet, which is called the PB300, also has. I can't get it to come off right now because I can't reach it. But the bottom also has 6 drivers in it, and that one is an additional 250 watts self-powered. So you put them together, you've got a 500 watt little mini stack. You can pick up one in each hand and walk right into the gig with it with your gig bag on your back, and it's like a one trip from the car kind of a rig that really rocks and really gets pretty darn good and loud. I have like a rockin' Colorado jam band, newgrass kind of a band that mixes bluegrass and some funky stuff and some Americana and rootsy music and stuff like that. We do festivals, we play on outdoor stages. I use it no problem with that. The top half, of course, you could use for any kind of small, gig that doesn't require a whole ton of stage volume. And then adding the additional cabinet just doubles that, and it'll pretty much do anything with that. In terms of the tone, let's just play a little bit. I'll stop talking and playing. You can just listen. I'm trying to play things on this instrument. This is one of my favorite instruments, by the way. This is built by Donor Design, Steve Donor out of Chicago, Illinois. It's crafted from premium Warmoth wood parts. So, and then it has the Nordstrand NP4 pickups in it and the Audio 2-band active-passive preamp. It has a Babicz full contact bridge and a rosewood fingerboard, maple neck, mahogany body, and this beautiful highly figured flame maple top. And the instrument just sounds great. So I picked a P bass to show the amplifier because a lot of people are using the F basses and MTDs and these kind of super hi-fi instruments. This is a little bit more of just kind of a straight down the middle, real even and flat kind of a sounding instrument, P bass, but a really good P bass. And I think that's one way that I really want to present this amp. Throughout the week, I'm going to do a few more demos, and I'll do some of the more sizzly, hi-fi sounding basses. But I wanted to do one with a P bass, and then maybe one with like a vintage, some kind of vintage passive instrument, and then later we'll do one with the super ramped up, preamp kind of, 5-string or something. I've got plenty of those around too. Now, I've been mentioning all the way since I started about how it has a hi-fi sound. But it does actually have a really warm, soulful sound. And just by turning the passive tone down on this instrument, I can get there. tone back up, and we've got this kind of really nice you know, real nice clarity in the chords and stuff. But you know, that kind of high-end, sizzly high-end thing, I'm demonstrating it because the amplifier does it so well. And by the way, the EQ's flat on the amp. I tend to get rid of that. I don't like all that high sizzly stuff. I don't think it translates that well across a big PA and a full band sound. But that's just me. You know, I like the old school kind of warmer, kind of pillowy, warm, round kind of stuff. Even with my slapping, you know, I tend to not like a lot of harsh, brittle stuff on top. Pretty good slap sound for a P bass, huh? So yeah, you know, this Phil Jones stuff is super rad. He's starting to make some bigger stuff now. He's got some of these cabs that are going into production that I'm eventually going to get a couple of that have 9 drivers in each cabinet. And they're a little bit bigger, a little more stout. You know, some of these big gigs that I do, these rock gigs and stuff like that, we play loud, absurdly loud, and we still do, and we like it that way, and that's just the way it is. So it's going to be fun to have some bigger stuff with the with his this kind of bigger rig that he's producing. But in the meantime, this thing does a fantastic job, and it's just absolutely wonderful sounding. Alright friends, there you have it. A little demo for you with the Phil Jones Super Flight Case and the PB300 extension cab, and also my Steve Donor design kind of Tele replica bass that I absolutely love and adore. I hope you enjoyed it, and stick around. I got a lot more coming this week. We'll talk about some different, I have a few ideas for some lessons this week that I think you guys will like, and yeah, more to come. I got a whole bunch of basses to feature this week. The Michael Granis bass and the Leonardo Bosquez bass are up in the rotation, and I'm also getting a bass today, another instrument today from Reverend Guitars, the Reverend Thunder Gun. That should be here in a little while. So we'll definitely be, that one we'll be featuring next. And, you know, thanks for tuning in. I'm having a blast. I hope you are too. We'll talk to you real soon. Peace.